Hey there guys, Psychotics here, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys everything you need to know about HE grenades, flashbangs, smokes, decoys, and molotovs. Let's get into it. So in this video I'm going to be going through all the nades, flashes, smokes, and stuff like that, everything you need to know about them, but before that I'm going to start off with the basic physics of grenades. Also, I want to tell you how important it is to practice, because as you can see, if you throw a good smoke, it can fucking get you the round, but if you throw a bad smoke, it can cost you your life, and it can cost your teammate the round, or maybe even the game. So, moral of the story, practice a lot, practice hard, offline. Alright guys, let's start off with some basics, and first of all, I'm gonna stand behind these barrels right here. I'm gonna aim at this pole, the slight pole. I'm gonna stand completely still and throw the smoke. As you'll see, it'll land around the long peak, and if I throw it while running but still stop at the barrels and aim at that light post, it'll go much further. It'll land in pit, and I'm just trying to show you guys that it's completely different where the smoke lands depending on how fast you're going or which direction you're aiming, of course. And as you'll see in the next clip, if I run backwards while aiming at the same spot, this smoke will go not as far, well, not far at all, and it'll actually pretty much smoke off long for me, but that's not really what we're trying to accomplish here, so yeah. These physics rules don't only count for smokes, they count for grenades, flashbangs, molotovs, decoys, and all the good stuff, you know. So you're gonna have to learn them to use smokes correctly, or any kinds of grenades really. Since you can affect how far the nade goes, you can also affect how much to the left or the right it goes. So if you just step forward or run to the left while throwing the nade will go to the left. And this is all in practice, and once you get this down, you'll be able to screw nades. Wow, that sounded wrong. But you will be able to throw nades around corners. Unlike flashbangs, or grenades really, the smoke never explodes mid-air. It will bounce for a long time, well, it'll fly forever, or bounce for a really long time before it actually stops and deploys. As you can see here, I just throw it fuck out the map, just onto a Humvee, and it just pops at the very late second when it stops. On the other hand, you can make it pop really fast if you just throw it a small distance off the ground and don't let it bounce. It'll just pop pretty much instantly. There is a slight delay on it though, so don't get your hopes up. If you guys are an advanced or an experienced player, you've probably gone into an offline game and tried to throw a smoke. You've probably thrown it nice and high, and it might have bounced off the skybox a couple of times, and you might have found this really fucking annoying. Instead of finding it really fucking annoying, you guys should actually try to use this skybox to your advantage, as it's there and you can't do much about it, so just learn a smoke that you can bounce off the skybox and surprise your enemy. Right here you can see me going through a couple smokes. I have some videos on this, my older subs will remember, but yeah, just practice smokes, and this is pretty much the most important step to becoming a better player. If you know smokes, that's gonna help your teammate out a lot in your matches, and it's just gonna be such a nuisance to the other team. This smoke right here blocks off the B tunnels, and it will stop a rush. You just toss it as soon as your teammate hears something, and yeah. This smoke right here on long is very interesting because I actually found it while playing, and if you bounce it, like if you just imitate exactly what I did here, it'll block off a site, and then if you throw a cross smoke or get your teammate to throw one, then you guys will have a free passage up A. So nobody will shoot you from A site unless they're like jump scouting, and you can surprise your enemies. This is quite a new beginner smoke that everybody should know. Very basic. Throw it at the window, it'll bounce perfectly and land square center CT spawn. Let's move over to flashbangs. So this is what a flashbang looks like in midair, and this is how it pops. So it takes about 1 second from the flash leaving your hand to it popping. 1 second, and it's exactly the same as a grenade, as you can see me demonstrating right here. So Well, really, the moral of this is when you're practicing flashbangs, use nades, because they'll explode at exactly the same spot, and you'll just not get flashed, so you can see exactly where people will be flashed. But that's enough flashbangs on their own. Let's put these flashbangs in with some techniques. This technique is very basic, and actually you won't see it too much in lower ranked plays. Once you get up at Supreme Master, well, not really. You can see them from all the way from DMG up to Global Elite, and really these flashbangs are so useful. As you can see me demonstrating right here, I just saw my friend drive past. Okay, that was random. As you can see me demonstrating right here, I flash off the wall and peek as I'm flashing. So the enemy's gonna have a couple of choices. He can either keep peeking you and get flashed and just hope that you don't get him and he gets you, or he can turn around when you will pop up, of course. You'll just fucking wreck him because he'll be turned. And yeah, it's just such a good technique that you should learn to use. What you're gonna want to do right here is use the skybox. As I said, for the smokes, use the skybox because it's gonna be extremely useful, especially with flashes. If you just bounce them off the top, it'll act as a pop flash, and it'll probably explode as soon as it hits the ground, depending on where you do it. If you combine this with the previous technique I taught you, you'll have pretty much a perfect flashbang right there. If you throw it behind you and peek while it's bouncing off the wall, the enemy will stand little to no chance. And as for any of these nades, you're gonna want to practice, because practice is key. Once you've practiced it enough, you'll get it down automatically, and the flash will just magically appear in your hand. You're gonna throw it perfectly, the enemy will be flashed, and you'll get him. Let's change map. So I'm gonna be guiding you through a couple of flashbangs here, some very basic ones, some a bit more complex, but just pay attention and maybe you'll learn something. Fun fact about flashes, a real flashbang can actually blind you for 20 minutes, but they took that out of the game for obvious reasons. That'd be quite unfair. But let's move over to Molotovs. So, how does a Molotov work? Well, it's a bottle, and you burn it, and you throw it on the ground and it explodes, and there's fire everywhere. The incendiary, same principle, but I'm guessing they use better vodka. Ha, kappa. Anyway, the Molotov's purpose is to burn people, obviously, and from leaving your hand, it takes about 2 seconds before it explodes mid-air. But if you manage to get it on the ground, there's a time of 7 seconds where that area will be completely covered in fire, and terrorists or counter-terrorists will have to rush through it, unless they want to wait. So the damage output is not big, it's from around a quarter to half your life if you run through it, and actually the cheaper version, the Molotov, does more damage to armored players. If you want to learn more about this, then remember to check out 3 Clicks Phillips' video, as he made a great video on the differences between Molotovs and incendiaries. I'm not going to go too much into it, but that's the principle. With Molotovs, the most important thing is using your skybox effectively, as they will explode mid-air if you don't. If they explode mid-air, no damage will be dealt, and you'll just have some fireworks to look at for a couple of seconds. As with any grenade, remember to practice your Molotovs and just don't burn your teammates. Now get out there and happy grilling. Good old Decoys. I wish I could say last but certainly not least, but I can't, because it is the most useless grenade or throwable in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. What a decoy does is it imitates the sound of your weapon being fired, and if you change your weapon, if you get a more powerful weapon, for example an AK, it'll change to that. If you get an AWP, it'll change to that. You can use this for fakes, you can use it to trick your opponent, but usually it doesn't work, and these nades are very neglected. And that wraps up our session, guys. 10 minutes. I feel as that was all I could fit in. I tried to make all the points short and good, but you guys tell me how it was. I hope this helps you. If it does, remember to like the video, share it, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Follow me on Facebook. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.